Martin Lappin with Alternative Heating Solutions, and this is part 2 of cleaning your G or GS series gasification boiler at the end of the year. You can see there is a difference between a G and a GS. The G has this large panel in the back. It's removable just by taking that pin off. Here we have a cute little GS 100, or as my wife calls them, the baby stoves. And for the rear clean out on these, that is what you get. You remove those 8 bolts, lift this whole panel out along with the motor and fan, and that's how you clean the rear. So the difference in price between a G and a GS is not just the bypass. There's several things a lot more convenient about a G series. While we're right here, I'd point out 2 nice things they have done to the GS. The clean handle has been moved to the outside, just like a G. And your ports for the extra circulation pump, if you need it, are already there. Remove the pipe caps, stick your pump in. It even has a switch already installed. Just wire it up. And there's your shunt pump, or bypass if you prefer. To remove this easy access cover, you just simply unplug it. You tuck the lead in, don't get caught on anything. Push in and remove the clip. And of course, that's a lot easier two-handed. The other thing, when you reinstall these, you don't need to go all Captain Caveman on it. See how far down you can shove that lever before you put the clip in. There's 3 holes in that tab. Mine came with it in the first hole, and it's been there ever since. And that's enough to seal it. You don't need to try to jam it all the way down. And I fibbed. That little tab actually has 4 holes in it. After 3 years, I'm still on the first hole. That's all it takes to seal it. So I took my air wand and hit this. 140 pounds of air. Does wonders. See, it's 3 years old and it's nice and clean. Usually what I do here is just knock the extra ash down the tubes so it collects in bottom. Once I get all the ash out I'll just take a shop vac and install a drywall filter in it. Works as well as anything else. Been working correctly and you've been doing your part correctly, the only thing you'll find is this real gray, fine, powdery ash under it. A little bit of black or brown. That's most likely, my best guess would be from when you start it in the fall and the water's cold and you're just getting a fire going. A little bit of creosote might form up here, and then it gets baked once it's up and running. There's no real scraping back here. It all comes off very easy. You see here I've made a little more headway. And a word of advice, if you're ever at a garage sale or an auction or whatever, and you come across one of these, grab it. This is literally the best scraper you'll ever have. It's got some heft to it too. You're not gonna break it. But anyways, 3 seasons on it, you can see like back here, it's just tapping it, the stuff falls off and it's still shiny underneath. Back when I used to build boilers, they were all mild steel and they would be flash rusted for I use even done welding on them. You might have heard me mention it was hot. Well, even though the G200's off, I have a waste oil boiler in the shop, and that's my backup heat. So water's leaving the stove at 174. Coming back at 183, 184. So yeah, it's warm in there. Don't leave your tools sitting there. Or your flashlight. It gets very hot too. So we've taken our ash tool and cleaned all the ashes out we could from the bottom. We're done in the top on back. Then I took the leaf blower and blew it out. And here's a suggestion. When you go to blow it out, make sure your truck is not parked downwind from the stove, unless you really like gray trucks. Another suggestion is if you've been thinking about getting a vasectomy but don't have insurance, park the wife's car downwind from the stove, then take the or the leaf blower to it. Problem is, you won't have anesthesia or painkillers, but you will be fixed. I've removed the first section of the horseshoe refractory. You can see in the bottom that shiplap joint. That is supposed to be there. That is perfectly normal. That's so you can expand and contract without breaking. I took the last halves out. Here you can see, well, maybe the back of the stove. Let's see if I can pull the light up. There, it's a little better. The newer ones will have a diverter in the very back that diverts the ash off to either side, so you don't need that L-shaped cleaning tool like you've seen in the previous video. Here is the inside of my lower refractory door. This is a thermocouple I've added myself. Yours will not have that. Did it out of curiosity, see just how hot it got down there. And it's very. But I like to leave that little bit of ash stuck to that insulation panel. First of all, it does help protect it a little more, and secondly, it's even more insulation. So I just, whatever comes off with the leaf blower, that's what I do, and I leave it alone. Pretty much all done in bottom, especially since it's starting to try to rain again. And now is the time to inspect your refractories, whether it be the nozzle or the horseshoe in the bottom. HeatMaster does not like to ship these refractories through either the 3-letter carrier or the 5-letter carrier, as they tend to like to see how many pieces they can break them into. Contact your dealer, and when he gets another load of stoves, he'll have them shipped that way, so you arrive in the same number of pieces they left in. This is Martin Lappin with Alternative Heating Solutions. If the women don't find you handsome, at least they can find you handy.